Welcome to the podcast series, Small Business Survival Conversations. Through our weekly conversations, we hope to provide you with strategies and insights, knowledge and expertise to enlighten you as you work to build and grow your business. Here are your hosts, Anna Steinfest and Dr. Michael Troyer.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us, where today we'll talk about the 3 forgotten parts to setting goals. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Anna, and thank all of you who are listening today for joining us. We're talking about, I think, a topic we don't often think about. We're all familiar with SMART goals. So you've got to set goals that are specific and measurable and achievable and relevant and time-bound. And I agree with all of those. But there are some pieces of that I think we forget. And Craig Wortman, who's a marketing professor at Kellogg, has added 3 more that I think are worth talking about. When we have, let's say, our direct report or somebody who's leading our marketing or our purchasing or our manufacturing piece of our little business, and they've set us some SMART goals, have we done the other 3 things that need to be in place? And I'll start with tools. Have we made sure they have all the tools they need? Not only heavy equipment or hand tools or whatever, but what about the other tools, the skills that they need, the knowledge that they need, the expertise? Have we made sure those are all available if we really want to see this SMART goal achieved? I'm not sure I often think about that when I help people put a plan together.
I totally agree, Michael, because a lot of times we will assume that people know the things because we know them and it's our second nature to do certain things, and we get upset if the employee, we ask them to do something, they don't do it the way we want it, and we start criticizing or even getting upset on that. But you're absolutely correct.
And I think that second nature you just mentioned, there's another piece of it. If I'm the one, you've just given me a SMART goal to do, am I going to say, Anna, I'm not sure I know everything I need to know about this. If I'm working for you, I'm not sure I'm going to say that, because you might think I'm dumb, that I'm in the wrong role, that you shouldn't have put me here. That is, I'm exposing myself to looking weak or unprepared. So I may not say it. I'll just plunge ahead hoping I can figure it out. And that will be inefficient. So we want to put the tools there and have that discussion that says, do you have all the things you need? I'd be happy to underwrite or find somebody who can give you the tools, the skills, the knowledge, and the equipment that you need to get it done. So that's one. We don't think about that often enough.
And in this case, just to help yourself, we advise you, even if you're a small business owner, to put in place in written form some processes, standard operation procedures. And now that when you talk about standard operation procedures, you think about, oh, I'm not a big corporation, but that's not it. You can have standard operation procedures for your small business and putting that first step, second step, third step in one written place, which will be helping you, because if you have an new employee, you will be able to point to them and say, hey, this is the steps you should take when you are executing this SMART goal you're giving them. So they have it.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to jump to the second one that we forget too often, and it's called support. So Anna, I'm giving you 3 SMART goals this morning. But I'm going to also set something else up. I want you to know that every Tuesday at 8 a.m, you can come into my office. I'm setting aside 10 minutes for you, and you can talk to me about these 3 SMART goals and how it's going and the challenges you're facing. That's your time. What I'm doing is giving you support and saying this is important enough for me to see you get this done, that I'm allocating time to you. If you don't need it, you let me know, and I'll move on and do other things that day. But you've got 10 minutes on every Tuesday to tap into me to be sure these SMART goals move along in the progress that you want. I'm also saying that I know you're not going to know all you need to know. That's why I'm here. By the way, I want to also tell you that if you send me an email and in the subject line you put help with an exclamation mark, that means I need to come right out and find out where you are and answer your question. That's how important your getting these SMART goals done is to me as your supervisor. I'm giving you access to me in emergencies, as well as a weekly schedule. That's giving you support. Not only that, that's
that is
getting you to,
huge. Yeah, that is huge because you know that you have this safety net.
and I'm encouraging it. I'm asking you to let me know.
Exactly. It's like, your employee know that if something goes wrong, they can always rely on you, and they will be more confident executing things instead of you watching all the time and micromanaging them. Because remember, you're a business owner. You have to look strategically on your business, and you probably have 10,000 other things to worry about.
Yep. And yet here I am. My expectation now is that you're going to ask me, rather than the implied expectation that you're going to fail and then I'll have to, too late in the game to fix anything, I'll have to write you up. No, I want you to ask me. So that's why I give you time. It's your time. I've got a client I know that does that sets that time apart. The third one is that another critical piece called a stop button. All right, so Anna is working on a really important SMART goal, and it's really vital to the company. But at some point, we need to know when we call it quits. It's just not going to work out. I had a client they bought a business, and they asked for my advice as they were going through that process. And one of the things I did to them one day in our discussions was I said, here's 2 envelopes. Each of you write a number for me. This is as much money as you can afford to lose before you know you're in danger of messing up your entire life. You don't want to go past this amount of loss economically and continue in the business. I want you to put the number on that sheet of paper and in the envelope now before you ever start and buy the business. Because right now you're objective. When you get into the business, you'll be emotional. Right now you're objective. So I was able then later on to say, you're at that point. You're either going to have to close the business or you're going to have to borrow money you said you don't want to borrow. That was a stop button. Well, we need that same for people working on SMART goals. So Anna, you put 6 months in, we haven't made progress. It's not your fault. These other conditions have come into play, but I think we need to give it up. We both agreed, here is the stop button. Let's press it together, Anna. You're going to drop away from this goal. We're going to go put your talent onto something else. Make sense?
Absolutely. And from a business owner perspective, also, you have to have a stop button when you have to fire people. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that, but it is true. What it is. You're giving them all these, you think about, you're giving them the tools they need to be successful. You're giving them the support you need, but you have a stop button where after all this have been done and has been doing, it's waste. And then it's probably not the right fit for you and them. You will give them you will give them a huge favor if you let them go.
I like what you say, Anna. I like what you say. In fact, I think we now say there are 2 stop buttons. There's a stop button that both you and that person you've given the goals to, you share that stop button because maybe the project's undoable, so we got to move on. The other one is if this person really isn't able to do the things you need, you have to have a stop button. If I see it once, I see it again and again. We've got somebody that's just not performing the way we'd hoped, but we linger in our decision that we need to make, that they don't fit this position, or maybe they don't fit the company. And we need a stop button that says, when these 3 things have happened, it's time to let go. Either find them a better fit or tell them there's a better career for them somewhere else. But don't keep lingering in that decision. Don't drag it out another 6 months.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Michael. So I really, really love this 3 forgotten parts to setting goals.
A new take. Thank you, Craig Workman.
Yes, thank you so much. Hopefully our listeners have learned from us today. Thank you so much for being with us. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Small Business Survival Conversation podcast. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode. In the meantime, hook up with us on our Facebook group at Small Business Survival Tools and Tips. Till next time, thank you for listening.